You're listening to the Download Youth Ministry Podcast.
Before we started, 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Download Youth Ministry Podcast. Doug Fields here with my dear friend and the queen of all youth ministry, Katrina Edwards, in her home turf, in the live show at Saddleback Church. We're recording live. Josh Griffin.
Hello there. How are you?
Co-host. Josh, do you know what we're doing?
That's me. We're doing a live show.
We're doing a live show.
We are doing a live show with friends.
And so we should have our first guest.
Wow, this is...
Hey, Matt.
Hello.
Way to hustle down here. It's good to have you, buddy.
Welcome aboard, Matthew.
If the communication was a little bit more clear, I would have been here on time.
Oh, well, I texted Jim Burns and I said, I want you to be my first guest. But, originally, this is a DYM 200.
Yep.
DYM 200. We're at a lunch break right now. We're letting people get beautiful Subway sandwiches.
What is DYM 200, Doug?
DYM 200 is an event that we do in September. This is our third one. It started with DYM 100, where we invited 100 people. Then the next year we did it 2 times, so it was 100, 100.
Love it.
And it was too difficult on our staff and the whole bit, and we have a small staff. And so we said, next year let's try DYM 200, and 200 people come to this event, and we have gifts, and we have surprises, and we talk youth ministry, and we talk faith.
Zip up hoodies for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah,
You're welcome.
So far, they've got DYM 200 hoodies, a pillowcase, a T-shirt. We've heard from...
free books, amazing speakers, awesome community.
We just heard from Shef, who's from Orange Students. Orange is our primary sponsor for the podcast, and the crowd goes crazy for Orange.
Crowd loves Orange. We heard from the greatest DoorDash comedian, highest rated in the entire app. It was very exciting.
Yeah,
very
best
good.
DoorDash comedian ever. Marco Stryker this morning talked on LGBTQ and what does that look
So
like
powerful.
in church, and
So
it was
good.
fabulous. We had Marv and Katie did a great job talking about when it hits the fan and what do you do in the midst of crisis.
Yep.
Alan Fadling, who's the author of
so
a
good.
Hurried Leader and a Unhurried Leader and a Unhurried Life. Seems like he had some. That was the only session I
It was
missed.
incredible. It was easily the highlight of the entire event.
Well, that's easy.
Are you trying to say that? What?
I can say that even though the event's
So
not over
what's
yet.
the purpose of this right now, right?
Now, who's
Everybody who
this?
is listening to the podcast, you want them to feel bad for not being here?
No, we're just giving them
Like they left
context.
out?
Yeah.
We're giving them context.
Context.
It's
Yeah.
FOMO. It's FOMO. It's too late. It's over. By the time you hear this, it's already done.
But
You weren't
we
here.
might have a date next year. We haven't decided whether
we
we're
don't
going to
know.
do it yet. It won't be like this. It'll never again be like this
It'll
one.
never be like this.
We surprised everybody, and we brought in a bunch of youth ministry veterans.
Right. It'll never be like this, so next year's is going to suck?
I don't know if it'll suck.
even better.
okay.
It's going to be even better.
Even better.
It won't suck. It just won't be as. No, we talked about like this could be the last one because how do you can't top it.
Let's decide right now.
Maybe that's our marketing thing.
It's over.
You don't need to top it.
No,
We
maybe
being
that's
you
our
do.
marketing
It's
thing.
so
you do.
fun.
DYM 200, not as good as last year.
That feels right.
There you go.
missed out.
Yeah.
Or DYM 200.
Let's just hang out together. Yay. Like something like that.
What would it be?
Let's just hang out together. Yay.
Yay.
All right.
Okay.
I can
Doesn't
live
we
with
have to
that.
top ourselves. We just like being together.
What if it was DYM 200? It's going to blow last year's away because last year's was terrible.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, it could be that. It's catchy.
Yeah, I think it's got a real nice ring to it.
Matt, why don't you give it a
Sketchy.
marketing jingle?
No, that's not really my strength.
Yeah, it's not.
What are
is
your
your
strengths?
strength?
My strength is speaking the truth without love.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
my
your
strength.
senior pastor material right there. That's
Yep.
great.
That's right. Matt,
love
have
it.
you had a good time hanging out?
It has been great. It has been great. One of the things that has been happening that you haven't mentioned, so maybe this is an addition, but you brought out all these great people, voices in youth ministry, and I think because I'm your buddy and you feel a little sorry for me, you brought me along too. But all of us have gotten to spend time with just 15 people, and it's been so great having conversations and kind of focused interactions, and so that has been a really, really cool thing.
I will tell you, this is a Matt normally is not humble, but no. When I asked
Are you gonna
Matt
share
to be,
some of our private conversations?
Yeah, I'm going to
Why
share.
not?
because
Why stop now?
Yeah, I had said, Matt, I'd really like you to be a part of this, and I said, Duffy Robbins is coming, Walt Mueller's coming, Mark Ostreicher, Heather Fleece, and I just name all these people that are
Right.
long-term youth ministry veterans, and Matt said, people will be so disappointed if I'm their group leader. And I said, no way, you are.
Doesn't that seem like a logical thing to say?
No,
I am not-
Matt.
I am not a pity party.
It's a
person
cry
at
for
all.
help is what it is.
I have a very healthy sense of confidence, maybe overconfidence, but
And then I'm walking around the workshops yesterday, Josh and
Yeah?
Katie.
What happened?
Guess who had the fullest workshop? Most people went to.
Walt Mueller.
How was it?
it was very
hot in there?
It was steamy.
Yeah, well,
That's right. We wanted to see how committed you were.
There you go.
Matt's
If
was
they were
packed.
mentally
It's true.
tough.
Yours
Yeah,
was
that's
packed,
great.
dude.
Well, Matt, thanks for being our first guest.
Okay, is that it?
It's
Am
great
I done?
to have you. Yeah, once you moved to Pismo Beach and
Yep.
you resigned as a co-founder of DYM,
Yep.
and you left the show.
Dead to
Right.
us.
You're not dead to us. You're
Like
just
wounded?
you're just not a permanent member of the
Yeah, you're a
podcast
guest.
anymore.
You're a friend. You're a
absolutely.
friend of
You're
the
a
But-
show.
permanent member of our hearts.
You have felt that?
Yeah. Your audience has felt that too.
That's true. That's true. We are now like in 8th place of our own podcast network.
That's true.
Yeah.
We've started a monster, and now we're kind of falling down the
Yeah,
ranks.
that's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Matt,
Okay.
If people want to be individually coached by you, you went out to dinner with one of the guys you're coaching
Yep.
last night.
Yeah, so one of the things that I've started just in the last few months, just on the side as a total, just a passion and desire to invest in other youth workers, put together a little website called leadingyouthministry.com. And it's just, if you're looking for some coaching, some advice once a month, check out the website, and we're trying to make some things happen. So
That's
I got a
great.
couple people that I'm coaching, and it's a lot of fun. And
You've been coaching me for years.
well,
Thank you.
You said it. Yeah, that's right.
You're going to savor that moment for a long time. Finally admitted it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
you're
those
on,
great ideas.
on digital.
Our second guest today is Greg Stier. Greg, where are you? I know you're in here. Come on. Greg Stier. Come on. You see, Matt, that's how you approach a stage. Look at that guy.
Look at how dangerous that
He's
looks.
Lot of
running
hustle.
the
A
whole
lot of
bit.
hustle.
I'm not
Yeah,
nearly as
ladies and
fit.
gentlemen, Greg Stier,
Greg Stier, president
of Dare to Share.
Hello.
Hey, Greg.
No longer president.
What are?
Brasina is president.
Oh, that's right. What are you now? You're
I'm
like
the
founder,
founder,
eye
that's right.
candy,
Yeah, exactly.
CrossFit model, the whole bit, right?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Author of Youth Ministry Mutiny.
Yes.
Now out of print, but a classic.
Thank you.
No problem. You might be able to get it on like an Amazon used
Out of-
bookstore.
What
Not
a
a high
what a
demand
terrible
on
thing
the
to
site.
say to somebody.
Thank you.
Out of
It was a
print,
great book.
Thank you for
but
the
a
public
classic.
humiliation.
Yeah. Hey, Greg, we don't have much time
Okay.
because we're going to do a short show because we were running a little bit late because when we started the last session,
Yeah.
it was only supposed to be a 20-minute session, and Josh did like a lineup of
20 minutes of impossible shot.
Yeah,
It was
he-
amazing.
He did this impossible shot thing that only
Nice.
like 7 people could participate in, and it threw the whole time off. So we got to pick up some pace
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
But tell us
We
about.
lost about 2 minutes explaining that.
No, it's 36
Thank
seconds.
you. That's what I'm talking about.
And our third guest
Oh, yeah.
is on October 13th.
Yeah.
Is a big day for Dare to Share. It's a big day for youth ministries. We explain what that is, and people who are listening could still have time. Katie, keep the mic right there because I want you to be right in this.
A minute.
Uh-huh.
I'm all in.
All
I
in,
can't wait.
okay. She just set her mic down like she's like, oh, Greg Stier's going to start
Yes,
talking.
you're gonna talk, and I'm gonna listen.
Oh, is that what it is?
I'm
Okay.
about to do impossible shot.
Yeah.
Hurry up.
Go ahead. Greg, what's happening on October 13th? It's a Saturday.
Yeah, we're doing Dare to Share Live. It's one event live from Denver in 97 cities, from Fairbanks, Alaska to Puerto Rico. And we're going to train and mobilize students simultaneously to share their faith. And they're going to go out and collect canned food for local rescue missions and engage in gospel conversations. They're going to use their Dare to Share Live app to trigger gospel conversations. And the goal is thousands upon thousands of gospel conversations happening in one day. And live worship bands in every room, live trainers in every room, 9 a.m. West Coast start, noon East Coast start, 8 a.m. in Alaska. But it'll be live, so students can talk to each other, and they can get trained, equipped, energized, and mobilized. So we have the skit guys, Flame, Shane and Shane, Zane Black, myself. It's gonna be a party.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Flame,
And
you got Flame
mean,
coming. That's
rumor is
Flame is a great.
rumor is, Josh, that they're going to be using Sidekick.
The DYM Sidekick app
Yes, we
will
are.
be
That's
on
right.
display, full display. It's going to be amazing.
bet.
I don't
Yeah,
blame you. So
You guys
what,
brought it out to our MCs and wowed them.
was fun. We had a good
awesome
time.
It was.
what do you what would you like youth workers to do?
I'd like them to pray at 10:13 every day for revival to hit on October 13th. And I'd like for them to come out and be a part of it. So just go to dare2sharelive.org. That's dare the number 2 sharelive.org. And find out the closest one next to you. Be a part of it.
Great. Let me ask you this. Would you be willing to arm wrestle Heather Fleece?
Oh, right now, live on the show?
Well, I don't know if Heather's here or not.
Don't do it.
She's not here.
What do you think? But she's here today, and you're here today. What do you think?
I'm down.
Whatever it takes.
Really?
Let's go.
I'd like
Whatever
to
it
see
takes for the gospel.
Okay.
Amen.
that. All right.
Come on.
That's happening. Thank you. That may be the highlight of my 3 days. I'm very excited about that. Greg, seriously, you have to beat her. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Great. All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right.
that was it. You
That
have
is
to
great.
be here.
That is great.
for that.
Hey, we've got somebody here who has a DYM tattoo.
We do. We do.
We actually have 3 people in the world that we know of that have DYM tattoos.
Wow.
2 of them are here today.
That's amazing.
and
Are we
none
gonna,
of them are on our staff.
wow.
Yeah,
Would you
but-
get a DYM tattoo?
No.
Would you?
Well, that was so fast.
No.
Katie, you
Katie has tattoos.
you have tattoos. Would you
Yeah.
get a DYM tattoo?
I don't think so, but I love you.
Would you consider it? Would you pray about it?
No.
At 10:13 every day, I want you to set an alarm.
Yeah.
And pray about
no. I'm gonna
Jeff
pray
Self.
for
Where
Dare
is
to
Jeff
Share.
Self? Jeff Self, come on up here.
Jeff.
Hurry, Jeff. Jeff, give a little bit of a reason to the 18 people who listen to this show why you would get a DYM tattoo.
Yes, I would love to do that. So, I'm just taking a selfie.
Oh, my
We'll get one with
goodness.
you
Just
too.
you and
Katie.
Doug. That's
No,
fine.
Josh. Oh, he's in. So the reason I got a DYM tattoo was because I needed more money for my wife's Christmas present, and you asked who wanted to get paid, and I always want to get paid, so I raised my hand. But I also, when I showed up to the first DYM 100, that was a brag. When I did that,
You're an OG, is what
I
you're
am
saying.
an OG. I had come in a very difficult time in my life. Some stuff had happened and come to light that turned my world upside down. And I had given up hope in a lot of people and was frankly kind of smug with you because I just wasn't worried about ever looking up to people ever again. And then God used the conference to turn my world back on it, on its right head. And so it was monumental, and all of my tattoos are monumental, little Jewish monuments I set up for myself. And so I was going to get a 2016 tattoo anyways. That was a perfect one for me.
That's great.
Where
That
is
was really
where is
Okay,
it?
so it wasn't
Yeah, let's
just
see it.
Where is it?
Prove it.
Oh, yeah.
bicep.
Yeah, thank you. You passed our diet promo. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Right there, boom.
Yeah,
DYM with a little crown on top
and
of it.
also speaking of Youth Pastor Diet, we had about
1,000.
was it 1,000
I don't
people? I don't
know.
remember.
I don't know.
We
Just
had a lot of
sounds better.
people that signed up for the Youth Pastor Diet. But Jeff, how much did you lose?
Well, that one was boring. All right. So I'm just really excited to be here.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So, I've lost a total of 84 pounds. I lost 35 of them on the diet. I lost the first 25 coming out of DYM 100 because Taffy just happened to mention that he has to exercise self-control with his white rice. And God really pricked my heart. That's a self-control issue. So 25, then 35, and I don't know what's 25 after that, but probably gained a few back this week.
No, you look great.
Thank
You
you.
look great. You're inspiration.
You are. Jeff, question tonight at the whatever we're doing at DYM 200, we have a fire, an outdoor fire, and cattle brands.
'Kay.
Would you be interested in a lower back cattle brand
Oh.
to
Actually,
show your dedication?
I told my intern, Isaac Langland, that I would shout out to him, so here's where I'm going to do that.
That was nice.
Isaac Langland will get one.
No.
I'm in.
No,
I know. He's in.
Isaac, you don't have to do what they say.
He doesn't.
He does.
He wants to.
He's my intern.
He
actually
wants to do
No,
it.
I want to advocate for interns and tell you don't have to do what
Tonight's
they
the
say.
night we're gonna brand
It's
somebody.
crazy. Hey, that is so crazy. All right.
Permanently burn your skin
I'm
so it
sitting-
scars.
I'm sitting on your phone. All right. Hey, let's welcome and thank and applaud for and get out of here.
Yeah.
Shef Self. So fun. Hey, we have two of our sponsors are in the room. My text messaging tells me. So one of them is Shef from Orange, and one of them is Doug Franklin from Leader Treks. And I'd just like to see a race who could get down here faster.
Let's see who wants it.
Between the two of them, or apparently they're not in the room. Okay,
Yeah, Chef's coming.
Chef's here.
But
Wow.
he's from the South, and they just
No,
take their
it's all right.
time.
Is
in
Doug
the South.
Franklin
Meandering.
in here too?
Meandering
Oh,
on
that's okay.
down.
Here comes Chef.
Oh, he's on the phone. Well, that's
Oh.
okay. We'll get him on in a minute.
Missed opportunity.
Hey, Chef, ladies and gentlemen,
Tom
Tom
Shef.
Shunas.
Exclusive code on Orange students is available only through this podcast.
Yeah, we say on the podcast if you want the cheapest
Yeah,
Orange curriculum ever, you can get it through DYM.
that's right.
But we can't even say it out loud. It's
No,
so
we
secret.
don't give
Right.
the code. We don't give the
You gotta
code
write
on
in.
the show. You have to write
in to get it.
Right.
podcast at downloadyouthministry.com, and we have a little cut and paste that
talking.
we send out to you. So that's great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go through all of our curriculum, and any thing that's not right, we ship off to DYM, and they do
sell it for
it's,
$3
it's not
there.
perfect, but it's
With the
really
dented
good.
We
cans.
correct the
I
theology.
mean, a lot of people don't. You correct
Yeah,
the theology.
Chef, what do we say about why are we partners between Orange and DYM? Why do we make a good couple?
I ask that question twice a week
Do you?
to myself.
Do you?
Usually after getting off the phone with you. But I'm just kidding. I enjoy every phone call, and my eyes light up when it's Doug. So, I mean, I think
Does your face light up though too? Does your face light up?
my face never lights
Do
up.
your
No, that
light
was
up
good.
face.
Was that all right?
Do your light
Yeah,
up
for those of
face.
you that don't know Chef, Chef is a veteran youth worker.
Wonderful human
He
being.
oversees Orange students. We become dear friends over the last year because
I like to think that.
Orange and DYM have combined together,
Yep.
and we're now running youth specialties.
Yeah.
And Chef and I talk on the phone all the time.
We
and
do.
The more I talk to you, the more I love you. But you just don't smile.
I do not.
You don't smile, and so
when you do, it makes us smile because we
Does it?
think you've hated us all the way up until that point. So stay there. Like,
Is that all right?
for a second, I
But
thought you
my
were gonna
eyes
kill
shut
me.
when I smile.
Nah, that's true.
So I've got to choose.
yeah,
Yeah.
Choose smiling.
It's like when
All
I'm
right, just
driving,
throwing
I
that out
can't
there.
smile.
yeah. But
So-
your heart is so much happier than your face.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah.
That's probably true.
But we like to say Orange.
I'm
Orange
glad I
has a,
came on.
Orange has a
Great
long-term
idea.
strategy. DYM, we don't claim to have a strategy. We claim to have everything. And
They
you,
do.
Orange
do.
has the strategy, and we long-term strategy, and we have the short-term flexibility.
That's
You
really
need a game, you need a leader training,
Yep.
you need a video. That's where DYM, our crowd, has been so helpful to send us their stuff, and just let's talk about YS.
okay.
Why did we do this?
I don't know. Oh yeah. I mean, the thing that's amazing to me is as I talk to people about it, the emotion that comes across people's face when they talk about YS.
Yeah.
And how many lead pastors, were like, that is where I got my start, or I was done till I showed up at YS. And and I've been doing a lot of watching old Yakinelli talks, and I skip through the Doug talks and then go back to Yakinelli, and they're so good. I mean, they're just the heart of that guy.
Yeah.
And that he was for youth workers, and to me, that's why I left North Point, is I felt like I love what I'm doing, but I want to do that the second half of my career for youth workers, which is one reason I'm here today. So when the opportunity came up for YS, I was like, I can't imagine a bigger platform, to be able to do that. And what I love about YS is it's about it's a big tent with different ideas. You come to the Orange Conference, it's about a way to do ministry, and it's people who all believe in this way to do ministry, which is an awesome thing. And so it's this group of people, but it's tribes that show up to the Orange Conference. And this is simply the tribe of people who work with students. And, it's that, as you've said, the overworked and under-resourced group, you know, that we get together as a tribe one time a year and just really leverage the platform that we're all together to just support each other, to you know, to do what we can. And that's why I did it.
You especially started 50 years ago.
Yeah.
And the last few years they've been struggling to,
Yep.
for whatever reason.
For whatever reason.
But when DYM and Orange came together, maybe it's the newness, maybe we'll struggle next year, who knows? But
maybe we're terrible businessmen.
we know that. We've
Guaranteed.
doubled the
Right.
attendance this
Yeah.
year. We're going to sell it out at 4,500
Yeah.
people.
It's gonna be
We're
awesome.
very, very excited. It's people who, you know, I love your phrase, do what we do and love what we love.
Yeah,
And we're
yeah.
excited about that. And that's November 15th through the 18th.
Is that what it
And
is?
it's
Weekend
gonna be-
before Thanksgiving. That's the
It's
only
going to be
thing
in
I can
St.
remember.
Louis.
St.
and
Louis,
Yeah.
Missouri.
We're like as of this day recording, we're like at 4,200 people. And
Yeah.
we have spots for about 4,400.
Yeah, so
We
it's
have a
going to
bunch
be
of exhibitors who are taking the last 100, and
Yeah.
it's going to be fun. It'll be fun to sell out a youth ministry event.
Well, it's fun. I mean, we're talking about how do we do overflow? How do we, you know, ask, you know, like how do we get video out into the exhibit hall so they can see? Because I mean, I don't think everybody's going to fit.
Yeah.
We made the stage smaller, you know, which is
Yeah.
it was like, what do we do? But I think we'd rather have people there that, you know what I mean? So, well, I mean, there's still as many lights, so it's going to blind you or whatever.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm not
Right.
sure. Big
Well,
surprises. though.
hey, the people who listen to the DYM show are they're always thankful for the sponsorship because we've been doing this for 10 years, and Orange has been a big part of it. So thank you very
Look at
much. Thank you very much.
You bet. It's
Thank
my
you for
pleasure.
being here. And you know what? Tomorrow, I know you, me, and Josh are meeting all day, and Josh and I have some smiling techniques that we've got for you. Okay, we're gonna work.
You
on
know
that.
how tired we're
I
gonna
will
be?
have
I
so
know,
much
we're
energy
very tired.
left
We're gonna
after
be
this
very
little
tired.
event we've been doing. This is great.
Right.
This is
That's
great.
super fun. All right.
Hey, thank you, Chef, for being here.
Bet, Chef.
So great.
Hey, Orange.
Before Doug Franklin comes on stage,
Yeah.
I want to get Frank Gill up here.
Frank Gill, that sounds
Yeah.
good.
You know
He's
why?
from our podcast network, Frank Gill, 15 Minutes with Frank.
I was on it last night.
You were-
felt
you were
really
on his
honored.
You're on his
podcast?
show. That's
Yes,
awesome.
yes.
Josh, why don't you
It's
tell people
exciting.
about the podcast network?
Podcast Network is 8 youth ministry shows. We lead it. This is the DYM Podcast, the flagship show. But there's 7 other shows that tackle a niche in youth ministry, from what I did last night in youth ministry, all the way up to like I've been doing youth ministry for 30 years. How did I survive, and what were the steps to get there? Youth ministry hacks and pop culture podcasts and so much more. So it's very cool. And Frank is one of the most popular ones.
Whoa.
15 Minutes with Frank.
That's news to me.
That's news to you? Yeah. Tell us what your show is about.
Yeah, so basically I talk about what I did the last weekend of my service. I just
There you go.
do my best to give at least 15 minutes of content, always more. So bonus content every
Always
episode.
more. 15 Minutes with Frank should be like 29 minutes with
Yeah,
Frank.
yeah.
Yeah, it feels like false advertising, Frank.
Yeah, I look at it as you get more than you expected.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
So you're
that's
lying.
good.
But okay, keep going.
Yeah, and I just talk about what I did, what worked, what didn't work. If there's a link to anywhere, whether it's just how to play a game or a resource you can buy, I throw the description with tons of links, and just basically it's what I wish I had when I started out in the ministry. Don't tell me like big ethereal stuff. What did you do, and how can I buy it? You know,
Exactly.
like-
You do such a good job. We actually discovered you because you were using Download Youth Ministry stuff so often, and we were like, we're going to build a network, and people have responded to your show, Frank. It is incredible. You're killing it. It's really fun to go, what did he do? Maybe it would work in our ministry the next week.
Yeah,
People are ripping
I
your
feel
stuff
like
off.
about 10 years ago, Josh, you had a blog called More Than Dodgeball. And you would-
MoreThanDodgeball.com.
You would do More Than Dodgeball, and you would say, here's what we did on Sunday, and you'd put it on the blog on Monday.
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like Frank took that to a higher level.
I agree. I agree. Frank has
just made it
copied many
better.
of my ideas and taken them to higher levels.
Yeah,
So,
that's great. And Frank, you have a sticker which is represents your great beard. I have it on my water bottle. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. So
Yeah, it's
anyway,
very signature look to Frank.
it
It's
is
true.
It
You're-
is very, like that look would not look good on Heather Fleece.
Oh, just flip me upside down, and then it's Heather Fleece. Yeah.
Wow.
The beard is her hair.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
It
Yeah.
felt hurtful, and then I was like,
Yeah,
oh, I
it's-
see
it's
it.
fair.
I
Yeah,
see it.
totally,
actually.
totally. Well, Frank, we love you. We're proud of you. Way to go.
Frank.
Thanks for
You're
being
awesome.
here.
Thank
awesome,
you.
awesome, awesome.
It's fun. As I look out, I see the host
Doug,
of the...
Doug Franklin. Where's Doug Franklin? Let's get that boy up here. Heather, We're closing with you, so
You're on
be ready
deck.
to bring it. Be ready to bring it. Here we go. Doug. Doug Franklin is the president of LeaderTrex.
Christian.
Yeah, and a Christian.
And a devout Christian. Thank you for bringing that up.
And Doug, gosh, we've been partners for a long time.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, for the live studio audience, Doug, I am actually older than Doug. And I don't, maybe I'm the only one that's surprised by that.
No, I see it. I totally see it.
Really?
Yeah, well, it's just.
You bring
really-
this up a lot, so I
we're
think
not
you're pretty
always-
concerned about this.
I don't know. I just don't think I look as old as you.
It
But
may be the gray hair. I'm not sure.
Really? Well, you do. How old were you when you got gray hair?
You know, I was about 28, 29.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Yeah. Do we have some?
It
others?
happens.
Some others.
It
I see
happens,
those
right?
odds. I'll pray
That's
for
right.
you.
Silver fox.
Wasn't
Yeah.
there like Grecian formula or something I could have gone with, but I decided just to keep it natural.
Just for men.
Just
Just
for
for
men.
men.
Yeah, just for men. Do you know that Katie is married to somebody our age?
I did know that, and that has a little bit something, connection for us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
totally.
Doug is married to someone younger than Katie by 10 years. I'm kidding. I have no idea.
Wait, how do you do math?
No, that's not true.
Yeah, that's. There's a lot of weird stuff happening right
Yeah,
there.
I do.
but-
I do
no.
say though, I am married to a wonderful, beautiful woman who happens to be in a different age category than me.
There you
yeah,
go.
you know
She's
what I
fantastic.
say when I
I know.
introduce her, I say this is Angie's first husband, Doug, because when you die,
my
she'll
God.
still be like 35. or something
Exactly.
like that.
Exactly. And she's on her way. I'm going to pick her up in a few minutes
Oh, is
here.
that
So
right? Oh, great.
she'll be here to
Very, very, very.
to hear all those beautiful things that
Yeah.
you like to say.
Same-
Here, I'm not saying any.
Same
joke.
bits every time we see her.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's
Doug,
talk
tell us about
LeaderTrex.
LeaderTrex.
Oh yeah. LeaderTrex is it's a great fun place for me to serve. Our mission is developing leaders to fulfill the Great Commission. We come alongside youth workers with resources and tools and training and all kinds of experience as well too to help them develop leaders, and we do a little discipleship as well too and other things. But man, our goal is to come alongside youth workers and help them. We realize that their job is huge, lots to do, and we want to come alongside and give them those little tools and resources that'll really make their youth ministry zing and help them grow students as leaders. So we're really passionate about it, been doing it for about 25 years. Love students, love youth workers, and I get to work with great people every day. I get to partner with awesome folks like you, and I think that the partnership that we have really demonstrates how we work together in community, how we serve the church, and how we don't have to be competitors, but we can actually be people in community that value each other's gifts and abilities, and then serve youth workers together. So I love that.
I love that too. We like each other a lot. I think you're as good as anybody I've ever met at. You create these super interesting assessments and tests, and you're like the king genius of that, because people like to take that stuff because they're their favorite subject. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
they really
we
are.
like thinking about ourselves and talking about ourselves, and you do that in a really fun way. You have you've done student leadership conference with us for years, and I know that Katie, I was going to say Josh and I respect you, but
LeaderTrex.
Katie obviously loves.
I think
loves
for
you
a
too.
youth pastor, so many things from LeaderTrex are just so practical and adaptable for our setting. So it doesn't matter what context you're in, you can adapt. If you have 2 student leaders or 10, you can, or more than that, you can adapt stuff, which I love. It's just really practical.
I realized a long time ago that I don't know your students. You do. And so if I can create a tool that you can use with your students in your context, it's a win. And that's what I want to do. So I appreciate that.
We're grateful.
Hey, Doug, as we end, I just got a text from our executive producer and would like you to do a soundbite. Okay?
What's a sound bite?
Soundbite is just to say this sentence.
Okay.
Sponsoring the DYM podcast is the best thing that has ever happened to LeaderTrex.
Sponsoring the DYM, is it web show or podcast? Podcast is probably the greatest thing that we have ever done at LeaderTrex.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you very much. Doug Franklin, ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen.
Doug, thank you.
All right, let's close the show out with, you know what, Josh, we always say our live shows are they're the best and the worst.
Yeah, they are.
Because we don't really answer any youth ministry questions. We just have fun talking with our friends that are here.
Hanging out with friends.
One of the most fun, and maybe as inappropriate as you, Josh, is the Reverend Heather Fleece. Heather Fleece is junior high pastor at 22 years at the same church, Wooddale.
Yeah, way to go.
Wooddale Bible? Or just
No,
Wooddale?
no.
Did it used to be called Wooddale Bible?
It used to be Wooddale Baptist Church.
Oh, wow.
But we cut out the Baptist.
Okay, so Wooddale Bible.
So you went
there
liberal.
was no controversy there.
Yeah, I bet. And
We are still Baptist in our theology.
junior
just not on
high
our sign.
guru.
I love
Spoke
them the
here
most.
last night, did a great job, has spoken at youth specialties for several years, dear friends with Katie. Do you guys like vacation together or something like that?
You should.
We like to spend as much time as possible together, which is a little tricky sometimes, but we make it.
She
make it work.
came to Minnesota in the middle of January to visit me and stay at my house.
It was magical.
She
It
got
was
to stay in my
snowing.
Tigger room. I have an entire room in my house dedicated to my
I've
earthly
seen
hero.
photos of it. How many Tigger things
We're
do
up
you
to
have?
95 Tigger items.
Yeah.
Some of them are motion detected.
Yes.
So
they
when
are.
you move in the guest room, they talk to you, and so
It's
that's
very
a little-
true.
You sleep, you roll over, and they're like, dung, 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 dung,
It's
dung.
true.
I
It's
just got number
cool.
95 last week from a junior high mom.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
That's great. You must be real proud of that room.
I am.
Yeah. that's
And
great.
you feel really sad that you've never been invited to be in that
No,
room.
I've seen pictures of it.
It's
and
not the same.
No,
He does feel sad.
yeah.
can tell.
No, I would. Here's the thing. I'm never going to argue with you, okay? Because you've hit me in the arm once, and I think you were just kind of joking around.
Yeah.
And for 3 days, I couldn't move it. All right. I have set up a arm wrestling match
No
between
way.
you and Greg Stier.
National
Oh,
championships.
that
Yeah.
would be fun.
No, I've set it up. He was on the show while you were out getting lunch. And he
Okay.
said yes to it because Greg will do anything for somebody to become a Christian.
That's right.
Okay, and
he
I
So he
heard.
wants to lead me to Jesus
No,
by
I
arm
heard.
wrestling
I
me?
just think that he thinks,
is
oh,
your
that
now.
could be leveraged for the cause.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
But
and
here-
then he'll create an acronym about it, and it'll be part of Dare to Share.
Yep.
Here's why I'm leery of doing that, because I heard that I was actually made fun of on this show
No, what?
following the student leadership conference
No.
when I got beat in
No.
arm wrestling
not made
by a
fun of.
15-year-old boy who was on the national arm wrestling circuit.
Yeah. No,
I didn't know this when I agreed,
if
and
you,
he took
if
me
you
down it.
actually listened to the show, you would have heard us singing your praises.
Respect.
About how great you are, about how relational you are
Adoration.
with the teenagers,
Okay.
Love.
how you just go and hug people really
Yeah.
hard, and then you wrestle, you
Yeah.
arm wrestle guys, and you beat them all except for, and then we told the story.
one.
The
the
one.
one
told the story
boy
about
that
the one.
beat you then was going on to
Nationals.
National.
The
That
next week.
Saturday was going on. Yeah.
Yeah. So as soon as the podcast is over,
Okay.
I think we're going to do an arm wrestling with you and Greg
We don't.
Stier.
We don't want to end the show.
If you're
with the
gonna go
showdown?
down in arm wrestling, you want to be beat by number one, right? I mean, like
Well,
the
sure.
greatest.
You're right.
Yeah.
So you're fine.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
second to the
Thanks,
greatest.
friend.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
great.
Heather, thank
You're
you
so
for
strong.
being a part of the DYM podcast. Thank you for
Wow.
being a DYM friend.
I hope
This-
some people accepted Christ just now when I
This
was
is
on
You
what
the
can
we
show.
see
do,
it on their
except
faces.
Greg
except
just led the
normally-
entire room to Jesus.
Normally,
It's
we
okay.
try to answer youth ministry questions, except in a live show, we
Sure.
just talk.
We don't
Okay.
We
answer
just
anything.
talk. We've been doing this this is episode 342. We've been doing this for 10 years.
More than 10 years.
10 years.
It's too many.
That's a,
a long time.
congratulations.
This was a good one to end on, though. It was a good run.
Yeah. Thank you, Heather,
welcome.
for being a
This is
part
it?
of this.
That's it.
Hey, she just walked away.
Yeah. She's
Bye, Heather.
done.
That's
Yeah.
She knows she's got to go stretch.
You did a
She's got to
great
get
job.
ready. She's got to
Okay.
get ready for the
Yeah,
showdown.
she's
All right.
taking on Greg in a minute.
okay.
She's
Well,
gotta
let's
warm
end the
up.
show. We're going to stop
Great.
recording. Josh, anything? Why don't you end the show in maybe the most? I'm going to give you a little time to
Oh,
think of it.
thank you.
A profound way, because I
Profound
feel like we need to give our not the live audience. I feel like we need to give the people who download, who listen to it while they're mowing the lawn or running on a treadmill.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to give them some nugget where they're like, okay, that wasn't a total waste.
Oh boy. Well,
Okay.
something
Yeah,
I heard yesterday that was my favorite part of yesterday was the verse that the Alan Fadling shared. Some trust in chariots, some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. And I love that. He said, are you trusting in your own horsepower or are you trusting in God's power? A little bit cheesy, little bit awesome. It was really, really great. So on that point, trust in God's power. See you next time.
It's good. I'm a little hurt that you're calling Scripture cheesy. But we got a lot to talk about. Anyway, okay, there it is, 342. Katie, the fact that you keep playing with us is amazing. We love
my
you.
favorites.
All right, we're done. Bye.